Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. I guess this is a new little video here. Mike's instant small town review. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm driving home from New England to Jacksonville, Florida, and I've encountered this Selma, North Carolina. Feels like a really cool little downtown district. It's a Sunday, so most of these places are closed, but the places that have been open have been very nice to me. I did another video on Strickland Art Gallery, and then from there was like this kind of hodgepodge antique shop next door with like comic books and like photos of people, like people's personal photos you could buy, just random people's framed family photos, dolls. And the lady told me that they get most of their stuff from storage sheds. Like if you see Storage Wars and people buy all this stuff cheap, then this type of antique store like pillages through that and sells all that stuff. So interesting. They had all this art from a German artist, and the poor guy, I guess he put his art in storage and defaulted, so now they're selling his art. So as an artist myself, I was a tinge offended. I got to show the Strickland Art Gallery gentleman my art, and he was very encouraging. Gave me some tricks of the trade, as it were, how to be more like, get better prices for my art. So if you've bought Mike Messier stuff on the cheap for the last 2 years, well, I guess I learned some tricks to get a better profit margin, but I do appreciate all the assholes that have bought my art cheap. What else? Then I went and I was kind of hungry, and I kept seeing all these signs for hot dogs everywhere, and they told me to go, like this lady would just make me a free hot dog. So, I mean, there's really no free hot dogs in this world, but apparently there was. I got 2 hot dogs all the way with like the meat sauce and the fucking onions and this and that. And I did purchase an adult beverage, which I normally don't do, as you know, but I did this time, and the bill was only $8. So I think the hot dogs, I guess they were free. I don't know. Maybe they weren't. I mean, $8 for a bottled beer, which I don't really drink, but I felt internal pressure to buy something. But I mean, $8 for 2 hot dogs all the way, which basically satisfied me, hit the spot, as people say, and a nice cold adult Miller Lite beverage. I haven't drunken a Miller Lite in many years, many moons, but what can you do? There was a stone unturned. I initially came to this town because of the coffee on Rainford, which I did not go into. It was just too much activity, too much interaction with other human beings, and I really just didn't feel like sitting there because I have this wonderful hotel room waiting for me. I am curious about this Washington Commanders football team. I think they've only lost 2 games, so I guess they're 4-2. As you may or may not know, that was my hometown team as a youth, as a youngster. I'm passing by the North Carolina aquariums, not just aquarium, but aquariums. Very exciting. Cookout is this fast food establishment that you'll see in the Carolinas. I am getting into the land of Wawa. I do kind of feel like Wawa is the best gas station going. I don't even know if I would say Buc-ee's is better. Buc-ee's is bigger, but Buc-ee's is more like an experience. I mean, Buc-ee's I did see Dennis Rodman in once upon a time. That video is somewhere on this channel. Dennis Rodman and his entourage came to a Buc-ee's a couple of summers ago. But I'm headed back home. All these wonderful people I've met in the last 3 or 4 hours, I do feel like, were I to move to a small town, Selma would be a fine place to go. I'm sure that the prices there to live there are probably a lot better than other places. I do feel like it might be a tinge too small for me, but who knows? Maybe I'm a tinge too big for it. who's to say? But all this wonderful excitement, just exciting. Now, if you've been following along at home, folks, you might be thinking, gee whiz, Mike, you don't do as many videos here on One Mike Messier. What has happened? Why are you so remote? Quite honestly, it's because YouTube kicked off one of my other channels. I guess I'm going over the speed limit now. I have to slow down properly. But basically, YouTube kicked off one of my other prized channels, One Man and a Camera Films. I do not recall you protesting when they kicked off my channel. And basically, some assholes will say, well, gee whiz, Mike, just start another channel. No, if you fucked me over once, I'm not going to jump through hoops for you. I don't care if you're YouTube or whoever the fuck. I'm sure it's all robots. I'm sure it's all analytics. But whether it's Facebook or YouTube or these establishments that want to play with people's lives, waste years of my life, I'm not going to cater to them. They can cater to fucking me, okay? So that's why, if you've seen less of me and you're wondering, well, gee whiz, Mike Messier must live, you can go to Instagram and you can see Mikey Messier on Instagram. MikeMessier.com is your thorough canvas for Mike Messier. Vimeo, Mike Messier, the Foreign Object eBay store. Okay, I do have a Rumble channel. People had advised me not to do Rumble. I don't know. I mean, just whatever the fuck. I don't have time to look into the political ramifications of all this horse shit. I'm too busy living my life. All the hashtags and all the thises and the that's and what camp are you in? I had to listen to a 45-minute political lecture today about who I should vote for. I mean, I really am just concentrating on my own life. I don't have time to sit there and worry about these politicians or these pro wrestlers or all these other insipid assholes. The reality is I'm comparing talent, okay? So I don't have time to worry about the state of the world. I'm worried about me, okay? So you get to a certain point in life where everybody's trying to influence you. I hate influencers. I hate the word influencer. It's so stupid. Yet people are demanding my opinions. They're demanding that I influence them. I'd rather just, exist, okay? But I understand the worry, the concern. You vote for this one, all this horrible shit happens. You vote for that one, all this other horrible shit happens. You're traumatized. Everything's horrible. But then you go out and you get a couple of free hot dogs. And it's like, well, gee whiz, maybe life's not such a suffering waste of time after all. This woman gave me 2 fucking free hot dogs all the way. I gave her a wonderful, more than 33% tip, by the way. But it was a very exciting situation. Getting wonderful art insights, wonderful art, thorough statements. My other pal, David Gear, giving me wonderful insights. New father that he is. So I'm coming back from this giant road trip, the Roaring Game feature film. My friend Tommy DiNucci, the podcast partner of And Action Podcast on Tom DiNucci YouTube channel. My artwork, I had a wonderful series of cat paintings that I've developed in the last 3 weeks. The audio book, Fight or Play Basketball. All these things that I'm doing for the enjoyment of the world. I mean, I just hope that I live long enough to enjoy the sweats of my own labor. I just hope that I'm not one of these geniuses that's only recognized when I'm in the ground because people were so obsessed with the size of Kim Kardashian's ass that they did not worry about my genius. So I'm giving you people yet another chance to explore my intelligence, explore my genius. Someone giving me a big statement about the guy from One Direction dying. I have no thoughts on this other than, a vague sadness for the gentleman, or more so for his young son. But I really don't know their songs. I know that, Harry Styles wears a skirt and he's a big movie star. That's about all I know of that band. And I just don't care, quite frankly, because I'm doing my own goddamn thing in the world. I don't have time to mark out to these fucking assholes I'm too busy being my own fucking asshole, okay? So that's it. Mike Messier, MikeMessier.com. Everyone's excited. Everyone's thrilled. It's such a wonderful world. Everyone's excited. Everyone gives a shit. And then they don't. You know what I mean? It's just another statement. It's just, okay, everyone gets worked up for 5 minutes, and then there's a popsicle stand goes into business, or a mortuary, or some such nonsense. So it is what it is.